Welcome back to another episode of our Kings related podcast, wherever you may be. And this recap of the Kings' absolute brutal heartbreaker in Inglewood, California, against the Los Angeles Clippers as they fall in overtime 111 to 110, courtesy of a Kawhi Leonard buzzer beating shot to win it for Los Angeles. And the Kings couldn't get a stop down the stretch, and they ultimately lost this game in overtime. It was a defensive battle in LA. The Kings and the Clippers, they went at each other at the Intuit Dome on this Sunday evening in a game that didn't need 48 minutes, but an extra 5 minutes, and in a game where, coming into tonight, the Kings were a half game behind the Clippers in that Western Conference play-in spot, and with now the Kings are now 3 games over 500 at 33-30, and this ultimately will not matter in the standings because the Kings have now officially lost that season series against the Clippers with 1 game left. The second to last home game of the season. The Kings are now 0-3 this season against the Clippers. And the Kings, they had their shot in this game. It was a low-scoring defensive battle in that first quarter. Kings actually led after 1 by 3, 23-20. But I think in that second quarter, in my opinion, I think that's where they really lost this game. In that second quarter, just a lot of slippage in that game. The Clippers had 9 fast break points in the first half. All 9 of those fast break points came in the second quarter alone. And I thought the Kings in this game, I thought they took care of the basketball tonight. Just 8 turnovers in this game. Third quarter, I thought maybe a little bit of the same of that from that second quarter. I didn't think the transition defense was good enough by the Kings in this game, because Los Angeles, they are the second-ranked defense in the league this season. So, and I thought the Kings in that first half, I thought they matched the Clippers' physicality in this game. I loved that first half. They only down 2 points at the half. The Kings actually took the lead by 3 going into the final quarter of this game. They took a 3-point lead. DeMar DeRozan had 10 of the Kings' 13 points in that overtime session. And also, I think in this game, I think there was a foul shot. Well, it was called a foul on the floor. It was DeMar DeRozan going up for 3, and it was Derek Jones Jr. who fouled DeRozan, not with the hand-to-hand clap, but Derek Jones Jr. fouled DeMar DeRozan across the wrist. That is a foul every day of the week. You can look it up. And the Clippers challenge, they won that challenge. The call was overturned, I think that was a terrible call because that is a foul every day of the week. But it wasn't ultimately why the Kings lost this game. The the reason why the Kings lost this game is they couldn't get stops down the stretch. And the Kings have been playing some really good defense here lately, but it hasn't been good enough consistently throughout games to win. When you're playing a team like the Los Angeles Clippers who bring it on a nightly basic defensively, you gotta match that for all 48 minutes. And I didn't think they did it enough for all 48 plus um tonight on this Sunday night. So this game hurts. The Kings are now 33 and 20, 33 and 30 on the season. They remain in that ninth spot, and that the Kings, you do not want to be in that 9-10 spot of that play-in, because you lose, your season's over. What the Kings want to be in, you want to be in that 7-8 position, because you get 2 games, at least 2 games. Because if you're in that 7-8 spot in the play-in, if you lose, you get another opportunity in the play-in, because you play the winner of that 9-10 game. So you want to be in that 7-8 seed. So I think that's more unlikely to happen. The Kings get 7th or 8th. I think the more likelihood is the Kings getting either 9th or 10th in that play-in if they survive this absolute gauntlet of a schedule that they are currently in. They lose this heartbreaker. Doesn't get easy tomorrow night against a Knicks team, and we'll go over that in a moment. But all around game with your big man Domantas Sabonis on the sideline. DeMar DeRozan has stepped up both as a rebounder and a facilitator, and he cooked once again in the fourth quarter, like he's done in the past, in that fourth, in that overtime, as he posted 31 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists in this game. Zach LaVine continues to thrive in this Kings offense. He came into this game shooting lights out from long range, but when that wasn't working, I really loved how he would get downhill, break that tough Clippers defense, and LaVine scored 30 points, and he also added 7 rebounds in this game. Even though the Kings lost this game, I think the player of the game was Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray, ladies and gentlemen, is developing right in front of our eyes into an elite, and I'm telling you, an elite perimeter defender. And he put that on display in this game against the Clippers, against a former NBA champion, future Hall of Famer, Kawhi Leonard. Keegan Murray, he helped limit Kawhi Leonard to just 17 points, 7 of 19 shooting. Plus, Keegan Murray, he added to himself on the offensive end. 15 points, 6 rebounds in this game, plus a big 3 late in this game. Just absolutely incredible. Um, and now JV, who's played well, it as a starter, and he's played well all around. Since the Kings acquired him from Washington, but JV he struggled. He struggled in this game. Early on, picked up two quick fouls in that first half. Um, Against Zubac, and Zubac's a tough cover, really good player. But JV, he made the necessary adjustments, and he got physical. Um, the downside was JV. He did miss a double double by a point, as he managed 9 points, 17 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block in this game. Just absolutely incredible for JV in a game where it wasn't his best um, um, from in a Kings uniform. Keon Ellis, Keon Ellis. He's usually the menace on the defensive end for the Kings, but Jake LaRavia was all over the basketball court tonight for the Kings. Jake LaRavia, he played some big minutes against the Clippers, and he finished with 7 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 steals in this game. And you had LaRavia in this game on James Harden in this game. I guess Doug Christie, he liked that length on Harden in this game. And little shout out to the rookie Devin Carter. I thought was another decent, solid outing by Devin Carter in this game. And he's trying to work his way into this rotation of Doug Christie, bringing that energy on both ends of the court. And Devin Carter, he had a second straight positive outing. I like what I saw in that game against San Antonio the other night. Tonight, Devin Carter scored 8 points in this game, 3 rebounds in this one, and I thought his shot selection can be a bit rough at times when he plays, but in this game, Devin had a ridiculous hook back dunk in that first half, just absolutely incredible. But he's improving, and I think this summer is going to be huge and beneficial for Devin Carter to play in the Vegas Summer League and the California Classic, because Devin did not get that this past summer because of his shoulder injury. But Devin Carter is improving. The time that has spent down in Stockton with the Stockton Kings and the G League it's paying off beneficially. So tough game for the Kings in this game, as they drop this one against the Los Angeles Clippers by 1 in overtime, as they begin this gauntlet of a schedule here. And it doesn't get easy tomorrow night, as the Kings are back home. They are taking on the New York Knicks, and no Jalen Brunson in that game, who turned his ankle the other night in that game against the Los Angeles Lakers. And Brunson, who was out for at least I believe it's 2 weeks with that ankle injury, but still, it's a Knicks team that's since the All-Star here lately. I believe they are bottom five in offense. Lately here, defensively, they have not been great here lately. But the Kings are on the second night of a back-to-back. Don't know the availability of Malik Monk or Sabonis. But it's not easy. You got the Knicks tomorrow, and the Knicks right now, who are in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are third in the East, and right now the Kings, 33-30. They're ninth in the West. Right now, if the playoffs would start, they would host that playing game. So, but you do not want to be in that 9-10 spot. At best, you want to be 7th, 8th in the West. So, not a great night for the Kings as they lose. And they face the Knicks tomorrow, but still, you got Mikal Bridges, you got Karl Anthony Towns, you got OG Anunoby, and while you were playing a hard fought defensive battle overtime game, the New York Knicks, they were here in Sacramento, rested up, 2 days off. They last played on Friday night, so not going to be easy for the Kings. Tip off 7:30, so not going to be easy for the Kings. And like you are in that gauntlet. Then after tomorrow night, you got a road back to back Thursday and Friday. You're in San Francisco against the Warriors, and that game's huge because right now you are leading that season series 2-1. If you can win Thursday, you win the season series 3-1. Then the next night on Friday, you're in Phoenix, and that's a Phoenix team that's all out of sorts. They won today against Dallas, but the Phoenix Suns, they have the third toughest schedule remaining this season, and they are behind you, and you want to keep them behind you. And then after Phoenix, you begin that 7-game homestand. Memphis, Cleveland, Chicago should be a win. Milwaukee, tough game. And then you got Boston, tough game. Even though you beat Boston earlier this season in Boston. And then the very next night, you got the Oklahoma City Thunder, tough game. Best team in the West. And then you conclude that homestand against the Blazers, who have beaten you twice this season. Portland, not a great team. You should win that game. But it is not easy for the Sacramento Kings for the remainder of this season. What the Kings need to do, I would love to see the Kings come out tomorrow. I think the first 5 minutes tomorrow are going to be extremely important for the Kings on how they start that game tomorrow night. That will tell me a lot of how this game tomorrow night is going to turn out to be. But as I mentioned, the Phoenix Suns, they won today against the Dallas Mavericks. Should win that game because Dallas is all banged up. The Memphis Grizzlies, they hold on to beat the Pelicans by 3. The Oklahoma City Thunder, they beat the Denver Nuggets. SGA scores 40 points in that game. The Cleveland Cavaliers, they beat the Milwaukee Bucks by 12. Just absolutely incredible. And then the Pistons, they bounced back after their loss last night in Golden State. They beat Portland in Portland tonight by 7. And that's a Pistons team really good. Happy for Piston fans after what they had to go through last season. Happy that the Pistons are having a really good season. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they beat San Antonio handily. So the Timberwolves, I believe the Timberwolves are going to get that sixth seed. Um, they're playing some good basketball. Anthony Edwards, incredible player, but in in, in this game, the Sacramento Kings, they fall in a heartbreaker by one in overtime, thanks to Kawhi Leonard's buzzer-beating game winner as they win 111 to 110, and they win the season series over Sacramento with one game left this season. Kings back in action tomorrow night in Sacramento against the New York Knicks. Not going to be easy. Just find a way to win the game. Just find a way to win a game. And we'll be back for a post-game recap following Kings Knicks. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching on our Kings related YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, leave a comment down below in the YouTube comments. If you're listening on your preferred audio platform, Apple, Spotify, please hit that follow button, rate 5 stars, leave a nice little review, be much appreciated. And we're also available wherever else you get your favorite podcasts. Kings lose and a heartbreaker. We're back tomorrow night following Kings and Knicks. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, go Kings.